Alright, hello guys. This is Anime Insight, and again, this is Trill Sensei here. I am going to be going over Iono's Exorcist, which basically translate into uh, Blue Exorcist. Um, and what I'm going to go over is just episode 10. Basically, it is called the Unbowed and Unbroken. And so first off, let me just say again, thank you guys for the support. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at anime_insight. On both of those platforms is the name. Alright, so let's get right into it though. So first off, it's the Impure King. Basically, with one of the characters, Suguru, and is struggling under the Impure King's deadly fumes while he's trying to hold this barrier together to protect the people that's around him. The miasma poison is basically like an atomic bomb sized radius effect, and the miasma is being controlled by the Impure King, but being contained by Suguro in that barrier. The doctor tells basically everyone to retreat in the meantime, though the Impure King starts to make his move, and one of the exorcists uh, basically says, Kino, in fact, says, "I'll fight you even if my life is on the line." And the doctor basically pulls him back and says, "What are you doing? Do you want to die?" Basically, now retreat and get behind and just stay out of the radius of the Impure King. So then after that, just whole introduction of the Impure King, it switches over to the scene with the Phoenix Demon battling with Shima and a group of exorcists over there. And Rin Okumura's brother is as well fighting against the Immortal Phoenix, is what it was said in the anime. His brother Yukio, in fact. So basically, it says uh, the the battle just goes with Shima fighting the Phoenix Demon, and the Phoenix Demon basically says, "You have been blessed with Agni, and I have been blessed with Kagura." And then during the meantime, when he was saying that, the exorcist Shima just directly goes in for the attack. Basically, um, he tries to go ahead and attack the demon to no avail. The demon, basically, the Phoenix Demon basically absorbed the fire that was uh, being sent his way. Shima kind of calculated that, in fact, that he would absorb it, and then he went to try for a normal attack. But again, it was to no avail. The demon, the Phoenix Demon, just basically smiles back because it does have that regenerative ability. He says, "Don't underestimate my regenerative ability." Um, and kind of goes over the elements with him. Of I'm assuming that before the Phoenix Demon was this, he was actually a former exorcist himself, as I do believe. As I do believe. I remember from the manga reading it. He actually was transformed because he wanted to get more power. And he basically does a recap with Shima. "Don't you remember what I told you? The stronger element would just absorb the weaker one, if they are the same. And I guess I would have won in a test of strength." And then with that, he basically tells the Exorcist group and Shima, "I got nothing to gain from you." You basically sends fires, like fire blasts, back to them. Uh, and Shima just goes behind the defensive Exorcist, and they make a barrier just to protect him and the Exorcist. Basically, the tanks with the magical barriers protecting them. Then Yukio Okumaru Okumura, basically came up with an idea to giving an idea of just having the two exorcists besides the defensive ones go ahead and try and attack the Phoenix Demon, and basically just get his attention while they focus on giving Shima, blessing him with more fire, just giving all their power to Shima. And while that was happening, he basically took out the two exorcists like easy, and noticed something was up because Shima wasn't there, and he basically shoved like one of those. It reminds me really of Frieza's. No, not Frieza. I would say Cooler's like supernova Cooler death ball. It just like comes down at the Phoenix Demon basically, and to no avail as well. But the strategy was of giving the demon too much fire to overload the body, not the demon, but the body that is holding the demon in place. And basically in time, when he is engulfed, all the flames is basically overheated because the Kagura, even though it's immortal, can't have more power than the user's body, and handle that with the mix of the rain coming down as well. It basically burned up all the tissue, basically making the Phoenix Demon turned into clay. And basically it would be hard for the Phoenix to regenerate because the body of the demon, all the tissue is basically burned up, and the water from the rain basically just melts it into like some sort of clay. Mr. Shima and the Exorcist group with Yuki are going back to try and get some help. As of right now, most of the members of that group are injured, so they're basically going just back to camp to get some backup to move all of the Phoenix Demon's parts before it comes back and forms together into the body again. But what happens in the episode is that somehow, even with the rain, it basically like flew the clay, like the clay pieces of the guy's like arm to the Exorcist and started to hold them down. And it basically leaves it at that for episode 10. Then it switches scenes back now to the main group of the Exorcist fighting the Impure King. But what's happened is that the barrier that is put up is that the miasma is so high to where humans can't enter anymore without getting severely like poisoned or even cause of death from miasma getting too like toxic to breathe in that situation. And it was found that the miasma barrier was caused by Suguru to basically protect the outside world from the Impure King's wrath. So basically after that it goes back to same classes. The rest of the classes attending the master, and Suguru and Rin Okumura is still in the barrier and still trying to hold that barrier while Rin's trying to get Suguru basically. And so what happens now is that they're trying to survive the miasma from the Impure King, while Suguru asks his familiar to burn away the Impure King's miasma just for a little bit so he can have a little breathing room, because the Impure King was right in front of him ready to set down and just like put all his miasma right in front of him, and surely it would be hard for him to survive that. So that happens, and that gives Rin Okamura time to go and see Suguru, and they basically are just like holding out. Rin's asking Suguru, "Are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you?" Suguru says, "No, I'm definitely fine. Just that I'm trying to hold the barrier together. I'm not too sure if I can hold it for even much longer." And then with that, the familiar told Ren like kind of the secret is that the Impure King is drawn to the life energy of the living, but is vulnerable to fire properties, so fire element, and that blast again just did a job. Surges trying to hold the barrier together. Sorry, um, and protect the miasma from spreading. So it goes on to Ren trying to draw his sword, but again, like from the last episode 9, it wasn't working. Suguru saying, "While my barrier's up, still escape and protect everyone else," and just get out of here. Ren was just trying to play it off as a joke. He said, "Hey, you know what I want to do is that I want to go to Kyoto Tower," and tells Suguru, "You're a local, right? You should take me there." And basically tells Suguru, "I'm not giving up on you, and I would want to invite everyone because it would suck if everyone wasn't there." Suguru says, "Why are you interested in that? I never gone by myself, and was ashamed to admit it." They both laugh again, and then they continue again with Suguru saying, "I am fine. I believe in you, and I trust you." Basically, takes one of his fingers off the ground, and still has his other one while trying to hold the barrier. And what happens next is that the Emperor King comes back out of nowhere, soaks Suguru in the miasma, the poison fumes, and is finally about to be the end. Ren is trying his hardest to draw the sword out and trying to protect. He is struggling a little bit, but is definitely got the sword out and battling headstrong to the Impure King, saving his friend Suguru with one slice of the blue flames. You know how he does the blue exorcist, of course, slices the blue flames across the Impure Kings, basically, and let the whole blue flame engulf the king. And then basically goes over to Suguru and see if he's okay. And that was the end of that episode. So it was just basically a review with you guys of what I learned from that episode. On that though, my thoughts of the episode was just that was pretty crazy. It reminded me a lot of the manga. It basically followed it actually, hand in hand. But again, I just want to thank you guys. This is Tro Sensei here with Anime Insight. Make sure you follow me on anime_insight at Facebook and Instagram. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you.